Fellow collectors of the multiverse, welcome to the show. I'm Rob Banks and you're watching the Red Cup Review. On today's show, we're taking a look at the Batman diorama, Gallery Diorama from Diamond Select Toys, the Red Hood. At an MSRP of $49.99, and most of them roughly fall, give or take a couple of bucks in that range, this is the perfect entry-level statue, in my opinion, for those that just want to kind of dip their toe into the statue market. I mean, you have other statues that are really massive, like the ones behind me here, but you might not want to spend $500, $600, $700 on a statue. You can get an entire setup from Diamond Select of all their Batman characters, if you were a Batman, let's say, guy, right, for less than half that. Way less than half that. They are really nicely well painted. They're made of 100% PVC, and for a statue, entry-level statue that is, that's roughly 10 or 11 inches from base to the top of his head and around 14 inches to the top of his sword. You're not going to really get any better than that. It's not flat paint. They do have multiple layers on there. There's a couple of black washes around the area of the gloves and the boots and stuff like that. We'll take a look at that in a little while. But for the paint job and for the quality you're getting, for the price you're paying, you ain't get no better than this. Let's take a closer look. Decades ago in the 1980s, fans had a chance to vote on whether or not Jason Todd would die at the hands of the Joker. And fans voted yes, thumbs down, yes, it will be the death of Jason Todd. However, decades later, here we are with a Red Hood. It is Jason Todd's big return, but this is kind of already old news now to begin with. He's a fan favorite character though, and the statue is quite dynamite. As a matter of fact, when I had it just sitting out here on the shelf a little while ago and little man came downstairs, he said, "Dad, that's my statue, it's going on my shelf." So I says, "Yep, sure, it's yours, man, you got it." So hey, look, very well done, very well sculpted, and the paint job is actually pretty awesome too, right? And I'm going to point that out right now. However, there are a couple of nits. Let's get the nits out of the way. You can see the silver on the actual zipper here. You can see the brown kind of showing through that. However, maybe it's just broken parts of a zipper. Look, you don't look at your statue, well, you may, like this, up close. You look at it real quick, you put it up on your shelf far away, and that's where it stays, and you ain't going to notice it from that far away. You are noticing it here, though, because remember, we do have the lights and the 4K camera on it. Now, getting back to the paint job of the actual figure itself, you have the cherry red on the head to match the emblem. There's relatively no bleed at all. Those are very shiny and well done. And just look at the sculpture itself of the actual face. This isn't two different tones of red. This is just the way it's catching the light for the metallic paint that they used, right? And depending on how you have the light hitting it, you can see the natural shadows in the sculpt itself. So that gets a big thumbs up for me. As far as the paint job on the actual leather coat goes, there's multiple shades of brown in here, brown wash and black wash, to bring out the shadows in and of the actual sculpture, right? And you can see it just like that, right? A little bit of brown wash, a little bit of black wash. Let's turn it around, take a look at the black, the black on the back. You can see over here, there's some scuff marks that they added around the figure, so very well done. Down here towards the bottom, you can see the different. It looks used and worn. That's basically what I'm getting at. Okay, I'm blabbering on and on, but it looks used and worn. The gauntlets, the gloves themselves also have a used and worn look, so that's very well done. The only flat paint part of this piece is actually in his greaves, right, or his pants, so to speak, but that's okay because it's broken up with this nice black that they got for the boots and for the holsters of where the guns are supposed to go, and those also have black wash and silver wash and brush strokes on them and stuff. You could also see it at the back here. Let's take a look at his boots, right? Not just flat black, so that's pretty nice also. It just adds another level, especially to a statue that comes in at around the $50 mark. Taking a look at the actual stand here that he comes on, very well done. You can see a lot of, it's like an Art Deco look to it, right? I love that it has like that gruffy looking stain mark right here up in the front. It just adds more to the realism. And it's one solid piece, right? It's hollow on the bottom, so let's hold it. You guys can see all the way up through the statue. It is a hollow piece, so it doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it, but it's fine because it stands up perfectly well on its own. Once you put it down, it doesn't wobble at all. That flat bottom there doesn't have, even though the statue, rather, I'm babbling, is more top-heavy, all the weight is transferring straight down into the bottom of the base. So you're not going to get no wobble effect on this, so that's pretty cool. Getting along to the sword, this is where the paint could have been a little bit better, especially in the handle. It's just a flat brown, but it is a different color brown than what they used over here, so I guess that counts for something. The gold could have been a little bit better around the handle here, and then the sword sometimes tends to warp when pulling it, when it's sitting in the package. When you pull it out, though, it's fine. Just a little bit of bend. A little bit, remember, this is PVC. This is not polystone. A little bit of bend, and it'll go back naturally into a more straighter state. They could have used a little bit more silver wash, black wash, whatever you want to call it. Different levels of silver in the sword would have lended a little bit more to the realism. Another nit that I do have, though, is that he is known for his guns. Where are his guns? He does not have any guns in his holsters. They should have came with molded guns in the holsters. The holsters are empty, though. Maybe the guns fell out when he jumped up like this or something like that. I don't know. Maybe in this hand he should have been holding a pistol. That would have been pretty cool. However, beggars can't be choosers. I don't want to judge this statue for what it doesn't have as much as what it does have and what it is, you know, what it is, so to speak. But the gun should have either been in the holsters, or at least he should have been holding one, and the other one should have been molded in on the back here. However, the chest piece is pretty cool. You can see the body armor and the different layers of silver paint in there. Also very, very excellently well sculpted. I gotta tell you, man, they impressed the hell out of me with this statue. For something that costs this much, again, entry-level people, you guys are action figure collectors and want to get into the statue game, this is where you start. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, people started with Bowen. Nowadays, you got to go with this Diamond Gallery Diorama stuff, and especially if you're a Batman fan. I know they have other Justice League characters and stuff like that too, but you can get them all relatively at a really good price point. And look, there's almost no bleed here too, which is awesome. Look, there's almost no bleed between the brown and the flesh tones of his arm here, and between the gloves and here. These are little things you got to look out for. Bleed tones when they spray the figure up or paint it however it works. Even in the straps, all very well done. Almost no bleed at all. There's a little bit of, and I mean a little teeny tiny bit of bleed, I believe right here on his belt buckle, but that's actually not bleed at all now that we pull it into focus. That is just, I guess, glue residue or something like that from when they, you know, glued the different parts of the statue together. We're going to end the video off by giving you guys a little bit of a size and price comparison on the 3 different types of statues I've been trying to mention to you guys throughout this video. You got right in the middle your Red Hood Diamond Diorama Diamond Select Toys, MSRP at $50, comes in at 14 inches, 11.5 roughly at the top of the head, 14 to the top of the katana here. Tweeter Head Batman, $275. And the Sideshow 1/4 scale Batman at $600. Okay, so if you guys are trying to, like, just, again, dip your toe in, give yourself a start, you got to think to yourself, am I going to go with something just so massive right out of the gate that's very expensive, when I can get an entire collection, a whole Batman setup, right, roughly for, it's not even going to be half the price of this thing. Plus, take a look at the size of this. It's still big. It still catches the eye, especially we're not that far away right now on the camera. A little bit even further away, like underneath like your TV, right? Or like right up on your mantle, you can have Red Hood, Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, bam, all like looking like they're kind of jumping out and over their bases here. It'll look awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the height comparisons and price comparisons for those that are new to the statue game. Statues on a budget right here. You know what, entry level statue on a budget, whatever you want to call it, it's still really nice looking, and I'm happy with it. My son's happy with it, and I'm telling you guys, this is where it starts right here. Right, you're an action figure collector, you want to get into statues, it starts here and it snowballs from there. So thanks for watching. Remember to please subscribe, like the video, drop a comment. Let us know what you think of these diamond statues if you are a statue collector. If you're not, maybe this video convinced you to kind of get into them, okay? In the description below, there's a link if you guys want to get yourself a Red Hood or any other type of Batman statue that is in this diorama series. So we'll see you on the next episode of the Red Cup Review. We got more stuff coming. Take care, everybody.